G'day viewers, I've decided to put a chassis out of my old TV again. Guess I'm going to leave the chassis out because it's much easier to work on this thing when it's out of the TV. I can get the things easier like this. I can see much more in there. And look who turned up, huh? Whiskers! He was hiding all night, this cat. Got worried about him. Got him pissed off and got himself killed. Little crap, eh? Little shit. Got us worried about you. Anyway, he's okay. There's that fire back again. I can probably neaten up some of this wiring too. I started cleaning up some of the valves. The drawback with these mini-watt valves, the markings smear off them, so to be very careful not to smear them off. And if I do, I got to take note what they were and what the markings back on with a permanent marker. Another resistor there. Probably clean this a bit better too once I'm all done. But there's little bits here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where things are bolted up. Potentiometer there. See I've written on the outside what those valves are because they smeared. Now the tuner works good. The audio stage and the tuning stage are working brilliantly. So it leads me to believe it's definitely in the horizontal circuit where the video is not getting through. So we're going to concentrate on the horizontal part of the TV and change all the resistors. It's going to be a challenge because the values I don't have in stock, so I have to go to today's modern equivalent, which is their tolerance, closest tolerance to the equivalents of what the resistors are in this circuit. Well, many of my valve radios, the resistors are out, but they weren't out so much that it caused really any effect. They've got a 10 to 20% tolerance on it, or 5 to 10% tolerance. You can go a little bit out in resistors on radios, because in my case I've got away with it. They still perform pretty damn good, even though they're slightly out of tolerance. But as for old TVs now, you have to be spot on. It's a little bit more, you're going to be a little bit more precise with TVs. So I'm going to start cleaning this thing up too once it's all done. The Arts and P Lab was gone, unfortunately. I can get a reproduction of those on the Vintage Radio website. Again, Supply Technico, model W101A, made in Marrickville, New South Wales. 1957 is the oldest TV I could find around Mildura. There is bugger all old TVs around here, this old. And when I do find them, they've all been fish tanked by redneck lowlifes, or they've been necked, or gutted, or just thrown in the bin. So people there are too bloody, too retarded when it comes to things like this. Yeah. So if you want to find old TVs like this, Melbourne's where they all stayed. Well, Melbourne and Sydney. They are getting hard to find, and there is a lot of them out there I see on eBay where the necks have been broken off, what have been fish tanked. So you got a lot of low lives out there who are ruining these, either throwing them out or fish tanking them. So yeah, it's definitely worth pursuing this hobby because radio is good, but TVs are even better. You know, I know a lot about Australia's TV history, but what about the TV sets themselves? You need to be patriotic and preserve something that's actually made in Australia, and Australia actually did make stuff. So people still believe things like this are made in Australia still today. That's how dumbed down society has become. Even the pack of CDs, the blank CDs are bought from Dick Smith a couple of years ago. The guy goes, oh, these are made in Australia, these are made in Australia, and it's showed in the label, made in Taiwan. And he goes, oh, he almost bloody fainted. Okay, no mate, Australia didn't make things like this at all. He couldn't believe his eyes. Nearly, yeah, it's just how dumbed down society has become. Nothing, absolutely bugger all is made in Australia anymore. So old Century batteries, for example. These are the only car batteries left made in Australia. Excited, yeah, not much longer now. Well, that's supercharged, but Exide will join their supercharged factory in the Philippines, and the Marshall will be made by Bond batteries in Thailand. So stick to Century batteries if you want to go buy Australian for your car. tyre as well. Yeah, Australia stopped making tyres about a year ago, so that's well and gone. Century is the only automotive part of Australian batteries made in Australia. The rest is all overseas. So the only major automotive product that's made in Australia is the Century batteries. Stick to buying them if you can, support Australian. Anyway, let's get back to recapping this thing. Probably resistor in this case. So this is the red, orange, silver. It's supposed to be 22k ohms. I use this resistance colour chart app on my phone to double check because I've got a little bit rusty in my resistor colour codes. Remembering there was a dirty way to remember the colour codes, but I forget. This app is very helpful. Very helpful. Keeps me on track. As you can see, it's a 22 kilo ohm it's supposed to be. Same colour code and everything. But it's measuring 18.7. It's gone down in resistance. Normally resistors go up in resistance with age, but this one has gone down. Interesting. I'll see if I got one in stock, a 22 kilo ohm. I'll check my stash. I might 1 or 2 watt resistors, so yeah. I'll probably have to order a kit full of them. So I think capacitor kits are good because you get a whole variety of capacitors, most commonly needed values. It's good, but resistors, no. I'll sort of have to buy them as I need them. I can't just buy a big kit and store them away and just use them when I need them. I have to order them one by one, unfortunately. Anyway, let's see if I've got a replacement there. I'm going to concentrate in this section. This is a more critical part for the horizontal, where the horizontal section is. Then I'll check this area here. Yeah, I'm convinced it's got to be the horizontal section. That's why it's not getting a picture. A dull raster and no video signal, kind of like this one here did before when I had the dry joint. It's a horizontal problem. Well, I found a 2.2k ohm resistor, which is way out in this TV, and I found a spare 2.2k ohm resistor. That same wattage. Not carbon composition, but that shouldn't matter. There we are on that transformer. It's supposed to be 2.2k ohm, it's only 1.1k ohm. It will make sense if the resistance goes down, it should let more current through, which may also cause a bit of a loss of signal. So it's kind of like a tuned circuit here. Horizontal is that part of the horizontal is critical. It's got to be tuned so it locks on. So I've got to get it exactly right. So that's out. It's got to be changed. Let's put the correct value resistor in. This has a gold band, and has a silver band, and has a 10% tolerance. This has a 5% tolerance. But that doesn't matter. That one is pretty well spot on. So that came out of a modern BPC TV. Yeah, I'm changing them. Change all the resistors I've got that I can find. Change them all. It's best to. I've got them there. Might as well change them. Well, I'm going to have to get more resistors, I think. I've run out of stock resistors that I've the right wattage. This one is half what actually, it's twice what it should be. It's supposed to be 3.3k ohm, it's somewhere between 8, I think 8, somewhere around the 8k ohm region. So that's going to have to be changed. But unfortunately, I don't have one that's the right wattage. I've got the right value, spare, but it's the wrong wattage, it's too small. So I might have to order some resistors. I just go and have everything with some phosphoric acid. Get the rust off it. This thing will be looking new. All the bolts, all the dirty bits. Just clean up all the nasties off it so it looks brand new again. This is going to have to be cleaned right up with the intention of it being used indoors instead of out in the shed all of its life. I'm going to clean this up as best I can and make sure it's running when I do get it fully restored. And much of this thing's going to be clean. You've got to have the chassis clean, very clean, that way they can run the coolest and the most efficient. Otherwise they're a fire hazard, especially with radios. If you don't clean your chassis and your valve radios, they're a fire hazard. Simple as that. There has been some incidents where radios have burnt houses down. People just use them and don't bother cleaning them. Valve electronics need to be cleaned because of the heat they generate. This thing's going to look pretty shiny when I finish with it. Get the valves all polished. I might just do the tops for now because I don't want to smear the markings off them too much. Bit of muck on there, so you have to clean that off. That's just all wax when they sealed the coils. They put wax in there, and that seals the slugs from the factory to set them. I'll give this wire a bit of a clean, buff that up. Get that a good rust remove. The transformer looks good. The black paint's nice and restored. Got all the rust off there, all nice and clean and scrubbed with steel wool and a wire brush on the heavily rusted bits. This thing's looking brand new now. Yeah, it's just the cosmetic side now. Yeah, the resistors will be a long ongoing project. I'll polish the soldering contact points with this too. Anyway, this thing's coming up quite nicely. That'll be enough for now. Thanks for watching.